right. Hello, everyone. We are just going to wait a few seconds for everyone to enter the webinar. Welcome, welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Celine, and I welcome you to our virtual visit for UC Berkeley today. I am a fourth year at Cal. I'm studying sociology and cognitive science with a minor in data science. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm so excited to welcome you guys here today. I just wanted to take a few moments to thank all of you for tuning in today to watch our virtual visit. Especially because of everything that's happening in the world right now. We do want to acknowledge and recognize the challenges and the pain that is stemming from everything going on, and want to let you guys know that we stand with you. And I wanted to invite you to read our Chancellor's message on news.berkeley.edu to learn more about how we as a community are responding and what our university stands for. So again, thank you so much for being here, and let's get started with our virtual visit today. But before we get started, a little bit of housekeeping. So our virtual visit is going to start off with a 40-minute presentation by our wonderful tour givers. We have a Q&A function at the bottom. We welcome you guys to use that function to go ahead and ask any and all questions that you may have. We have many folks on the back end who are ready to answer your questions for you. There will also be polls that are showing up throughout the tour. Go ahead and answer those. We want to see who's here today, where you guys are coming from. And no worries if you miss any part of this virtual visit for any reason. You can go ahead and access our different version available on our website after the tour. And this campus overview is going to be fully the student perspective, which means that there is no admissions or financial aid information. If you have any questions about those, we will gladly direct you to the financial aid or admissions office. And finally, we will be ending with a Q&A with our wonderful guides. We will do our best to answer any and all questions you may have. So with that, I'm going to let Morgan and Aidan take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is Morgan and I'm going to be one of your tour givers today. I use the pronouns she, her, and hers, and I'm from Modesto, California in the Central Valley. I'm a junior, so I'm about to go into my third year, and I'm a double major, majoring in history and political science. And as for some other things I do on campus, I am the assistant company manager of ballet company at Berkeley, and I've been dancing since I was 2.5 years old. I'm also in Phi Alpha Delta, which is a pre-law fraternity. I was a Golden Bear orientation leader, and then I also do a little bit of freelance writing on the side at sneakpeekbooks.com.
Hello everybody, hope we're having a fantastic day today. My name is Aidan. I will be your other tour guide for today. I use the pronouns he, him, and his, and I am from Dana Point, California, which is located in Orange County, so more so Southern California. Right now I'm giving this tour actually from Berkeley, so woo! I am also a junior, going into my third year as a junior, and I am studying chemical engineering. And as for some of my involvement on campus, I am one of the members of the UC Rally Committee, which is this really great organization that's really just tries to bolster the spirit of everybody in the university. We go to all the sports games, we put on all these rallies, and we wave these really big flags. It's really fun. These last 2 semesters, I was involved with teaching the Cal History, Spirit, and Traditions decal. Decals are these really awesome courses that we have that students teach to other students. So I got to teach this whole group of people all about the history of Berkeley. It was really fun. And then the other group I'm involved in is the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, or IKE for short. And that's basically involves getting chemical engineers to meet with each other, and it connects us with internship opportunities and research. So it was really fun. Alrighty, welcome to UC Berkeley. So right now you should be seeing a poll popping up asking, who are you? We want to get an idea of the demographics of the people on this tour so we can tailor things towards you. So here are some awesome pictures that we have of the Berkeley campus. Right in the top left, you'll see a picture of our football team getting ready for a football game. Berkeley has very big spirit when it comes to sports games and football games and whatnot. I did not expect that when I first came to Berkeley, and I've been to every single football game ever since I've came here. Every single one of them has been a blast. I love every moment of that. I cannot wait until football comes back. In the bottom left, you'll see 150 years of women at Berkeley, which is something we're celebrating this year. That's a big thing that not very many other universities can brag about. I love saying that Berkeley has had 150 years of women. It's really awesome. It's really great how Berkeley was really progressive of that early on in its history. In the middle, you'll see a picture of Sather Tower, better known as the Campanile. It's this great 307-foot tower that you can see basically anywhere on campus. It's one of the biggest icons of Berkeley, and I love being able to stand anywhere and just see this great tower anywhere. And then in the bottom right, you'll see 150 years of light. A couple years ago, we celebrated 150 years of Berkeley, and I kind of got to catch on the tail end of that my freshman year, and it's really awesome to be a part of that big legacy. Now, moving on. Alrighty, so this slide, we're just going to go over the agenda of everything we're going to talk about on this tour. So this will be a lot of information, so please, we implore you to use the Q&A function at any time, whether if it's now or middle of the tour towards the end, so that we can clarify anything we're about to talk about, because this is a lot of information. So first, we're just going to do an overall overview of Berkeley, the history of establishment and campus culture, so you can get an idea of the past and present of Berkeley. Then we'll go over all the academics, the main part of being at a university, all the undergraduate colleges and graduate schools, so get an idea of how all the majors and whatnot are structured, as well as the structure in classes, so you can see how all the material is taught to you. And then we'll go over all the other fun stuff you need to know about going to university, such as the housing and dining, health and safety, student resources, and then all the fun stuff, the student life, athletics, and campus highlights.
Hello, I'm going to be talking about the history and establishment of our university, which is one of my absolute favorite things to talk about because I'm a history major. So our school was founded in 1868, but we are actually a land-grant school, so created by the Morrill Land-Grant Act, which was signed in 1862 by President Abraham Lincoln. So actually on the side of the Campanile, which is pictured right there, there's actually a bust of his head, which is pretty cool. We have many different names for our university. The official name is the University of California, Berkeley, or UC Berkeley, but we also go by Cal because we are the first of the 9 undergraduate schools in the University of California system. So we're the only one that gets to be called just California. And Cal is usually just used for well, of course, the campus as a whole, but mostly for athletics, and then Berkeley is used for academics. Our mascot is the golden bear, and specifically Oski, who you can see behind me right here, and he is a lovable grandpa type bear who I absolutely adore. And actually, a long time ago in our university, we had live bear cubs all over campus, spreading our school spirit. Obviously, don't have those anymore, but I feel like Oski embodies the same spirit inside. We are a pretty large campus, so we're a public university with about 30,000 undergraduate students and 11,000 graduate students. Here are some images depicting our beautiful campus. So on the left there, you're going to see Sather Gate, which is one of our campus icons built in 1911. And if you've seen the movie Monsters University, they actually drew some inspirations from Sather Gate, in not just, you know, that gate that they have on their campus, but also for the entirety of their campus, because Pixar is just down the road, about 10 minutes away from our campus, and I've actually been able to visit. So there are a lot of opportunities for students to go and see amazing things because Berkeley is located in the Bay Area. In the center, we have a bear statue. UC Berkeley has 27 different bear statues. This one's name is Sturdy. He's a great photo op place. I actually took my admissions photo there, doing little bear claws like that. And up on the upper right there, we have our University of California seal, which is actually cursed. So if you step on it, they say that you're doomed to fail all of your classes. So if you're walking around campus, you see a seal, most students tend to try to avoid them. And then down in the bottom corner there, we have our beloved Oski bear. One of the most important things about Berkeley's campus is its culture. Berkeley's culture is very unique in the respect that we are all change makers. We are all very passionate, not only about what we are studying, but what the impacts are that we're going to be making on the world. We all want to change the world for the better in whatever we're studying about, whatever we're passionate about. A great example of this was the free speech movement, which happened from the fall of 1964 into the spring of 1965, which is depicted in the image on your screen. And the free speech movement was set during the civil rights movement. So students on campus wanted the freedom to talk about these issues that were plaguing the country at the time, and even have some legacies today, but the campus administration would not allow them to do so freely on Sproul Plaza and other locations on the campus. So students began to protest and even collaborate with some faculty in order to achieve their goals of having free speech on campus. And this was not only a Berkeley phenomenon, it spread across the country to many college campuses. And it is one of Berkeley's proudest achievements. Students now are able to say whatever they like on campus, whether it be talking about their favorite club or talking about politics, which I find very inspiring. And the students then and now are leaders making change happen, whether it be through the free speech movement then or the Black Lives Matter movement today. And there are challenges to the status quo that we all strive to achieve, and we don't just do it so through protests or social activism, but also through our work, as I mentioned. So this can be done through business, through entrepreneurship, and also through building community. So students like myself want to find a community at Cal where they can find a place to fit in, to make friends, to make it the best experience possible. And that's changing not just the world, but changing your world, your experience. And they do that through compassion, passion, and of course, our history of social justice. And this community is built through this magical mixture of diversity and excellence and people from around the world, from different backgrounds, in which we all come together to have a beautiful campus culture. Here are some images depicting that campus culture. So on the upper left there, we have an image of a protest, which students can participate in. In the center there, we have some examples of entrepreneurship, both above and below, students doing research. As I mentioned, we are a research university. And down below, we have some entrepreneurship, some building, some engineering perhaps. Over on the right there, we have a picture of the rally committee, which Aidan mentioned he's a part of. The lower left there, we have a picture of a noon rally. So during football season, every Friday, at noon, there's a rally where you see the football players, or not football players, but the football supporters, the cheerleaders, the band, Oski running around. It's really great to walk out of class and see that. Like, you might have just taken a midterm, you're feeling really down, then you see that and you're like, oh, my day is so much better now. And then over on the far right, we have the Campanile. That was a celebration of its anniversary.
Alrighty, now we're getting into the meat, the main thing of being in a university, the academics. So for undergraduates, you'll be placed in one of 5 undergraduate colleges, which are the College of Letters and Science, the Rausser College of Natural Resources, the College of Environmental Design, the College of Chemistry, and the College of Engineering. And by the way, a poll just popped up on your screen just so we can get an idea of what sort of subjects y'all are interested in. So the way how it works when you apply to UC Berkeley, you'll either apply to a major in one of these 5 different colleges, or you can apply undeclared to a few of them. The ones you can apply undeclared to are the College of Letters and Science, the Rausser College of Natural Resources, and the College of Environmental Design. And one big thing to note is that when you get into one college, you are not trapped in that college. You can definitely transfer in between the different colleges. It is definitely more challenging to transfer into the colleges of chemistry and engineering, but most of the other combinations they can go for are definitely more simple. But not to say that you can't transfer into College of Chemistry and Engineering. I know people who have done that. And for the top 3 colleges, the way how it'll work is that when you first apply for a major, you will be undeclared initially. And so what that means is that you'll have to take a certain number of prerequisite courses, or may have to reach certain other requirements if it's a more impacted major, before you're able to fully declare that major. And so this actually gives students a lot of freedom, because it makes it very simple to switch from one major to another, because a lot of other majors have pretty similar prerequisites. And when you're in that undeclared state, it's much more simple to switch from one thing to another. I know tons of people who've switched to a slightly different major than what they're studying, and they're really happy that the undeclared system gave them that flexibility in order to switch quickly. So now we'll be moving on to the College of Letters and Science.
So I'm going to be talking about the College of Letters and Science because it's the college that I'm a part of. So both of my majors, history and political science, are part of the College of Letters and Science. And a lot of students on campus are also part of this college because it has 3/4 of the undergraduate population, because it has 80+ of our majors. So has a wide variety of majors divided into 5 divisions. So arts and humanities, biological sciences, mathematical and physical sciences, social sciences, and undergraduate studies. So you could be be an English major in the College for Letters and Science, or you can be a computer science major. So it's really wide variety of students who are within this college. It's also very easy to double major within this college. Both of my majors, as I mentioned, are in here. And all of the advising and many of the classes that happen within this college are in Dwinell Hall, depicted right there. Next, we have the Rouser College of Natural Resources, recently renamed, and it's actually one of the first environmentally focused colleges in the United States, and it has different programs like environmental science, which you can focus more on the biological aspect of that or the environmental aspect of it, interdisciplinary studies, economics, energy, forestry, and biological sciences. And there are some sciences within the College of Natural Resources that you might not think of being there. So like nutritional science is one that's in there. And they all champion sustainability and social justice, as I mentioned, as a part of the change-making process of campus. A lot of students within this college, and of course elsewhere, really care about the world that we are living in and are striving to make it better and enriching it, making a better world for all of us to have bright futures in. So this can be through our zero waste initiatives, or just through learning about the world we're living in order to develop science to improve it.
All right, next up we have a very unique college, the College of Environmental Design. So this college is definitely the smallest of our 5 undergraduate colleges. So as such, the feel of the college feels a lot more individualized and more interconnected between the smaller community. And so there are 3 departments in the College of Environmental Design: architecture, landscape architecture, and city and regional planning. And within those 3 departments, the college offers 4 majors, which is architecture, landscape architecture, sustainable environmental design, and urban studies. And so based on that, you can kind of get the feel that this college not only focuses on like the architecture and structural, those kinds of focuses, but it also focuses on environmental focuses at that same time. And so that's kind of focused in their statement they have here, which is craft ecologically sustainable and resilient, prosperous and fair, healthy and beautifully built environments. And so this building right here, Worcester Hall, is kind of considered to be the main location of the College of Environmental Design. It's a really neat building. A lot of like the floors have like these individualized spaces where students can do all their architecture work, and there's all these like big tables where you can like make all kinds of neat charts. It looks really cool. Also at the top there's also a great place where you can look up over the whole campus and look at San Francisco and the Bay Area. It's very nice. The kind of courtyard area in the front is cool. And there's this little cafe you can see there in the bottom right of the picture. So College of Environmental Design, it's really neat. And now I'll be moving on to my college, the College of Chemistry. Now, this is my favorite college. I might be a little biased, but it is pretty neat. One reason why is because it is ranked #1 globally. Woo! And so it has 1,000 students, so it's also a pretty small college. And it has 2 departments, chemistry and chemical and biomolecular engineering. And the majors it offers are chemistry, chemical biology, and my major, chemical engineering. A big confusion people have is that my major is in this college and not the College of Engineering. It's kind of complicated, but the best way I can describe it is that because we have a College of Engineering and chemistry, it makes more sense for it to go to chemistry, especially because Berkeley has such a huge history when it comes to chemistry. One of the biggest things being that Berkeley has discovered 16 elements on the periodic table, which is an impact that no other university will come close to, at least not anytime soon in our lifetimes. I just find that that's really awesome that I'm learning chemistry from an institution that has that big of an impact. Also, Lewis dot structures, you may have heard those in like your general chemistry class. That was invented by a Berkeley professor when he was teaching here. He was in the middle of class and he came up with it when teaching his students. And now it's just a general part of Berkeley general chemistry classes. So I think that's really awesome. And then one last thing to note here is that you apply directly to this college. So instead of being undeclared when you first apply here, you would apply for a major, and if you get in, you're automatically declared. So I'm already declared as chemistry. I've been that way since I was a freshman here. So that's neat. And now I'll be moving on to the College of Engineering. Now the College of Engineering has 7 departments, and each department corresponds to a specific major. So they are bioengineering, civil environmental, electrical engineering and computer science, industrial engineering and operations research, material sciences, mechanical, and nuclear. That's a whole lot that covers probably most of the engineering needs and desires that you may want. So Berkeley hopefully has your engineering desires here. And so for me being chemical engineering, a lot of classes I've taken and have been in the College of Chemistry, but I've also taken a number in the College of Engineering. And I can guarantee you that all the professors are really great. They're really amazing at teaching this really complicated engineering stuff. I love working with the people in the engineering classes. So College of Engineering is really amazing. And another thing to note is that a kind of relatively new program offered through the College of Engineering is the Management, Entrepreneurship, and Technology program, or the MET program. And this is basically a program where in 4 years, you're able to get an engineering degree from the College of Engineering and a business degree from the Haas School of Business. It really is a double threat sort of thing. People who have that will definitely be very successful in the job market in the future and whatnot. It is pretty challenging, I've heard, to get in that, but if you're feeling ambitious, if you feel like you got the drive to go for MET, then you can definitely apply for that when you apply to UC Berkeley. And now I'll be moving on to graduate schools.
So UC Berkeley has a number of graduate schools, as you can see here on this screen. So we don't only specialize in undergraduate education. One of the ones that we have is the Haas School of Business, which is actually the second business school established in the United States after the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. But the Haas School of Business is not just for graduate students. No, if you would like to major in business administration as an undergraduate student, you can absolutely do so. It's just a little bit harder to get in. So unlike a normal major, you're going to apply in the fall of your sophomore year usually and find out in the spring of your sophomore year, and there's around a 32% acceptance rate. But once you get in, it's a wonderful program with a lot of hands-on experience because we are located in the Bay Area, which is a great place for entrepreneurship. But if you don't make it into the major, completely okay. A lot of the prerequisites are very similar to that of the economics degree, and I also know people who've done political economy. So there are many ways to get to this avenue of business, even if you're not in the Haas School of Business. We also have the graduate schools for education, a Graduate School of Information, which actually is our newest graduate school. Berkeley Law, as I mentioned, I'm pre-law, so hopefully one day. Social welfare, optometry, which I think is pretty important because it has an eye clinic there. And so if you're an undergraduate student and you have the student health insurance plan, you can go to the eye clinic and get a pair of frames for free for up to $250 worth of frames, which is really great because if you go to college and you sit in a large lecture hall for the first time and you're in the back of the room and you're like, whoa, I can't see, you don't want to go all the way home to get a new pair of glasses. Or if you're clumsy like me, maybe you sit on them in class a couple times, it's always good to go and get a new pair. We also have journalism, public health, and public policy. So these are all outstanding graduate schools and great places to go after you finish your undergraduate degree. For academics, we also have varying structures and class sizes. As I mentioned before, we are a rather large university, so we do have large lectures, like the one depicted here in Wheeler Auditorium, which is actually our largest lecture hall. However, just because we go to a big school doesn't mean all of your classes are going to be humongous. And there are things and resources for those larger classes to make them feel small. So for example, for every large lecture, like the one depicted there, there is a discussion section, which is led by a graduate student instructor or GSI. So someone who is in graduate school for the topic that you are studying. It's usually about 20 to 30 people or even less. And it's very similar to a class you might have in high school with quizzes, review sheets, things like that. And GSIs also have office hours. So if you want to hop in, ask them a question about your homework, they're usually a little bit younger, so they might be a little bit more relatable to you than your possibly Nobel Prize winning professor. However, you should definitely not be scared of your professors because they're one of the greatest resources for academic success on campus. They have office hours as well, and you can just go in. Maybe you had a problem with an essay question on your midterm and you need help. Or maybe you just want to learn more about them because you're a huge fan of your work. You could just go in and be like, hi, how are you? And I tend to do this and fangirl out about my professors, but it's a really great way to get to know them. And you can also learn some new things, maybe even get an opportunity later on, maybe in research or for jobs or things like that. As for class size, as I mentioned, we have an 18-to-1 student-faculty ratio, but 85% of our classes are fewer than 25 students, meaning that the majority of your classes later on might be pretty small, especially if you're in majors like mine. My upper division classes, so after I finish my prerequisites, have been relatively small, and that tends to be the trend for most of our majors on campus. And we don't just kick our lower division freshman students decide, of course not. We have classes specially made for them. So we have things called freshman sophomore seminars, which are usually about 15 to 20 students on whatever topic you would like. So you could take one on astrophysics, or you could take one on chemical biology, or you could take one on something that you really love that's outside of your major, which is a great way to explore something else. As for me, I did take one of these the fall of my freshman year, and it was called The Supreme Court, a Critical Appraisal. And we just talked about our favorite court cases and our favorite justices. Our professor was amazing. He wanted us to call him by his first name. He'd actually spoken in front of the Supreme Court 3 different times and had worked for the NAACP for 30 years. So he was an absolutely amazing professor, a great resource, and every week our class just kind of felt like a coffee chat, so it was a lot of fun. And of course, students have other resources available to them, like the Student Learning Center, which has free tutoring for all students. I write a lot of papers, so I go in there for every single paper I have, but it's actually virtual right now. So this past semester and right now for summer classes, you can have a Zoom meeting or get some resources that you need for that. So even in this new virtual environment, the Student Learning Center is there to help everyone.
All right, now we'll be moving into housing and dining. So soon you should be seeing a poll, our last poll pop up asking you about where you're from. And so first year housing options. So there are a few different options they can choose to live in. So most freshmen decide to live in the dorms, around 96%. So that's what most of you will be doing if you decide to come to UC Berkeley. Living in the dorms was a really amazing experience. I really loved it. I got to meet a lot of people I'm still friends with now 2 years later. And it was just a really great community experience, just living in the hall and just being able to walk down to somebody's door and to say hello to them. The dorm policy is changing slightly though right now due to the current situation. We'll link information for that at the end at news.berkeley.edu with the chancellor's message and whatnot. But so the different dorms that we have here, we have units 1, 2, and 3, which are located more on the south side of campus. I lived in unit 3. It was a really great experience. And then we have Clark Kerr, which is more on the southwest side of campus. It's definitely further away from campus. You'll have to go like on a bit of a walk. It's not too far though, and you get the benefit of all the rooms being bigger and all the common areas being bigger. Looks like I got a lot of people from Eastern time zone, Southern California. Woo, that's where I'm from. Yeah. So Clark Kerr, yeah, a bit further away from campus, but a lot more space, so it kind of makes up for it in a way. And they have like a track and a volleyball court there. Very fun stuff. Next, we have Blackwell Hall, which is our most recent residential hall, which it first opened up my freshman year. I didn't live in it, but I knew a lot of people who did. They really loved it. Everything is really nice. They all have just double rooms and like all sorts of really nice common areas in there. I've heard nothing but great things about Blackwell Hall. And then our last 2 halls are Foothill and Stern, which are more on the northwest side of campus. Stern is an all-female dorm, but Foothill is all genders. And yeah, and that's a lot more closer to a lot of the kind of engineering and chemistry stuff. So a lot of people that I knew from my classes live in that area. I personally like though being in Unit 3 because it allowed me to walk through more of the campus to go to my classes, but it was still a good experience. Alrighty, next up, we have a bit more details about housing and dining. So yeah, freshmen get priority for housing. So the way how it works when you fill out the housing application, which you'll do soon after you decide to come to UC Berkeley, is that you'll have these 5 different options that you get to choose, and there's lists from a whole bunch of different options. It'll be like all the different kinds of rooms that you can have, like triple from Unit 3 or double from Blackwell, all those different options. But there's one specific option called any room, any location. If you put that option as your last option, then you'll have the highest chance of getting a housing offer. Everybody who's picked that as their last option has gotten a housing offer. So as long as you do that, you'll get housing. And at the dorms, you'll have all sorts of resources to help you out. They were definitely very helpful for me. First of all, you'll have a residential assistant. There'll be somebody that lives in your hall or maybe on the floor above or below you. And that's basically their main purpose is to kind of like, I guess, keep the peace in a way. They kind of like solve different sorts of disputes that may happen. But the main resource for me through them was that they were definitely, I had this one person who's actually also a campus ambassador named Natasha, was my RA, and she was extremely helpful. She gave me like a lot of guidance. She informed me about this campus ambassador position. So that was really awesome. There are different theme programs that you can choose to apply to. These are just a thing you can apply to in your housing application if you want to live with people that kind of have similar backgrounds or beliefs as you. So for example, there's like the African American theme program or the Asian Pacific American theme program, things along those lines. And then security at the dorms, there's a pretty big emphasis on security, and there's a lot of different security checks you have to do when you go in. You have to scan your ID card to open the door, and then scan your ID card again when you want to go up the elevator or go up the stairs, and then you'll have to use your key to open the door to your dorm. So a whole bunch of different safety features there to make sure. And the common areas. This is one of my favorite things. On my dorm, like the kind of common study area was on my floor. And it's always great because like you'll walk in there and people will be studying, and then it'll just be a really great way to like meet people, because like you just say like hi in between when you're studying or like having a snack or whatever, and you just get to meet all kinds of people. It was really great. And last thing is a meal plan. So when you live on the dorms, you'll have a meal plan as a part of your housing contract. And all the dining, so there's several dining halls around campus, but each one of them is very close to one of the places where you'll live. It was really convenient for me in Unit 3 because our dining hall is Cafe 3, and like it's pretty much just right out the door and then you could walk in. It was very convenient. I really like the dining halls because they give you a ton of different options. So if there's something that they're serving at one time that may not be your sort of thing, there's like 5 or 6 different other things that you can get, which is great. And so right here we have pictured Crossroads Dining, which is in between Unit 1 and 2. And now next we'll be going on a little bit of the different housing that you can do after your first year. So there are a lot of people that choose to live on the dorms again. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I know a few people who've done that. But some people kind of want to go for a different lifestyle. And so there's university-owned affiliated properties such as Garden Village and Enclave. And these properties basically, it offers more of an apartment style living compared to the dorm. So like they have like their own kitchens and whatnot, a bit more space and all that. And then there's off-campus apartments, which is what I'm doing right now. I did that last year. I plan on doing that this next year. I'm living with a bunch of friends of mine. It's really great. And then a couple other options. We have co-op housing. Berkeley actually has the biggest co-op system in the nation. And if you're unfamiliar what co-ops are, it's basically this house where you live with a bunch of other people, and the rent is lower because you split up all kinds of chores, like cooking food and whatnot. So you basically do like all sorts of other tasks so that you have cheaper rent. And then the last option we have here is Greek housing. And so if you're get accepted into a fraternity, a sorority, there are a lot of those houses all around Berkeley in this one specific area. You can choose to live there. Around 10% of Berkeley's population is involved in Greek life, and a good portion of those people decide to live in the Greek housing. So it's definitely a viable option. I know plenty of people have done that. They said they really love it. So that's an option for you. And also, even if you are living in off-campus housing, you can purchase a meal plan if you wish to do so. And that might be great if you want that convenience of having the food on campus there. There's all kinds of to-go food places there. There's one place called Golden Bear Cafe, which is really great in the middle of Sprout Plaza, where you can just pick up food and go. There's convenience stores there by all the different dining halls where you can just get little snacks, which are really great. So yeah, and I'll be moving on to our next topic.
So now I'm going to be talking about health and safety, which is an important thing for all of our students. Health is mostly monitored through the Tang Center, which is kind of like our own doctor's office. So we have an urgent care, primary care, counseling, and physical therapy, which students can go to using the student health insurance plan. All students on campus have to have some form of health insurance. This is an affordable option that many students choose to use, but of course, this is optional, so you can use your own health insurance that you have. The Tang Center is a really great resource for students on campus if something happens to you. So weird story, I had gone to Disneyland over winter break and my knee was still hurting me, and I'm a dancer, so I was really upset about this. I had a performance coming up. I went to the Tang Center and they helped me with some physical therapy. My knee moves back to normal in about 3 weeks. So they're very helpful, whether it be physical health, but also your emotional health. So as it says there, it does have counseling. So if you need assistance with mental health, they are happy to talk to you, and that is for all students, no matter if you have SHIP or not. So you can go there and get the help that you need. As I mentioned before, we do have the Optometry Eye Center, as well as Path to Care, which is an assistance to mental health, as I mentioned before. And then on campus, we have some stress relief, which is really important because college can be stressful. So one of the clubs that we have is De-Stress with Dogs. So you might be walking down Sproul Plaza, just went through Sather Gate, and then you see a bunch of dogs, and there's a sign that says, "Come pet me." What an amazing thing to do. It's a great stress relieving opportunity. Or another great one is Llama-Palooza, which can happen usually during Dead Week or Finals Week, where there are just llamas on Memorial Glade, which is a big grassy area. You can go up to them, you can pet them, you can even feed them, which is a really unique experience that we have at Cal. A great place to clear your mind. Just think about llamas for a little bit. It's a lot of fun. And of course, we have safety services to ensure that our students are safe at all times. We are located in an urban area, so around our campus is a city, Berkeley. So because of that, a lot of students tend to live around campus. As Aidan mentioned, he lives in off-campus housing, so do I. And so you want to make sure that you get home safely, and all of our dorms actually surround the campus, so none of them are on it. So we have many resources to make sure students get back to their housing comfortably and safely. So we have our own police department, the University of California Police Department, or UCPD, which is housed in Sproul Plaza. We have blue light telephone poles, which are shown right there in the image. And these are just big, tall telephone poles with a button right there. You press it, and with 30 to 90 seconds, UCPD will be on its way to deal with whatever emergency is going on. And those are scattered throughout our campus. We also have Warn Me as well as Nixle, which are text messaging and email services that let you know whatever is going on. So maybe someone's item got stolen, or once we even had a mountain lion sighting just north of campus, so they sent out a police sketch of a mountain lion through Warn Me and Mixel, which is pretty interesting. And as Aidan mentioned, we do have those residence hall 3-point security services. And of course, students walk home at night because we do have a 24-hour library, which is Moffett, and you want to get home even if you're going back at 2:30 in the morning. So we have a night safety shuttle called Bear Transit that goes through the campus and to all of the dorms, as well as Bear Walk, which is my personal favorite. And these are students who are specially trained in defense and small talk. So they walk you home and you might make a new friend along the way. We have a lot of resources for students that help with development and creating that sense of community at Cal. These are just a few of them, but we have many more, a lot of them located in the Cesar E. Chavez Student Center. We have the Transfer Student Center. Transfers make up 20% of the student population. And because they have a limited amount of time on campus and with our university, we want to make sure that they get the resources that they need. We have a disabled students program to make sure that every student has the same opportunities to succeed. The Gender Equity Center, the Multicultural Community Center, as well as student development for different groups such as Chicanx, Latinx, Asian Pacific American, African American, and Native American students. Because no matter where a student is from, no matter what background they come from, we want them all to have a great experience on our campus and even virtually with our campus. So all of these resources right now do have virtual options to make sure that in whatever our future university format will be, they are able to find that sense of community to be able to succeed and have a great college experience. We have many veterans on our campus, so of course they have services to make sure that they have the best experience as possible, as well as undocumented students program, because every student should have the opportunity to do well no matter what their situation is, and many more to make sure that all students are able to have a great time, able to make friends, able to do well in their classes, and just able to have that Berkeley experience that all Berkeley students deserve.
All right, now on to one of my favorite slides, the slide about student life. So unfortunately, we aren't able to partake as much in these due to the current situation, but one day all these fun activities will be back. We'll be able to have that student life back at Berkeley. But first off, so we have a ton of student clubs, over 1,200 student clubs. And I guarantee you that one of these 1,200 clubs is the perfect club for you. So I know, basically everybody that I know has like found that club that they fit in with, where they have like friends that think the same way as them and they just mesh very well with. And that's one thing that I just really love about Berkeley and like all the clubs, that a lot of people just find a place where they belong and they find that community where they're able to express themselves and be themselves. That being said, if you don't think one of those 1,200 clubs is for you, then that's fine. You can make your own club. It's a very straightforward process. I haven't done it myself, but from what I've heard, it's simple paperwork you have to go through. very straightforward. And then you have your own club. Besides that, there's a few other things you can do. We have volunteering. There's a lot of different clubs and organizations on campus that can connect you with volunteering opportunities. There's a lot of different things you can do like around the area in Berkeley. There's this one really neat thing they had called Berkeley Project, where they basically got all sorts of other clubs together from the university, and they basically connected you directly with community service activities. It was really fun. I did it with the rally committee one year, and it was really great. We went to this library area and we helped out. It was very fun. There's tons of jobs you can get on campus. Being a campus ambassador is a pretty great job in my opinion, but there's lots of other options for you as well. I know the library system employs a lot of people. Being one of those bear walk officers is an option as well. I have a few friends that do that. They love it. And then study abroad. So unfortunately, with the current situation, there isn't as much study abroad opportunities. I know for the fall, there isn't going to be offered study abroad and for year-long opportunities, but one day it will be back. I've heard nothing but great things from people who did study abroad, being able to go to some other country and still get a great education. And then tons of free time fun. So concerts. So Berkeley has this Greek theater on the side of campus, and there's lots of like bands and whatnot that come to perform. I'm really sad that I couldn't go see this, but one of my favorite bands of all time is Green Day. And earlier in the 2010s, they came to Berkeley and they performed in the Greek theater. And like, I'm praying that one day they'll be back so that I can come and see Green Day perform there. But there's tons of other bands that come there. A lot of my friends really love this band called Bastille, and they were there at the Greek theater last year and they really enjoyed it. And San Francisco and Oakland are very close by. They also have lots of other concerts there. So I can't wait for concerts to come back so I can have fun times there. Lots of workshop opportunities that we have at Berkeley offered through different clubs and whatnot. Lots of sports games. As I said earlier, I really love all the athletics here. I tried going to as many athletic events as I could. A lot of it through rally committee stuff, but still I just really enjoy all the games. They're very fun. Can't wait for them to be back as well. We have a few different museums around campus, which are neat. And there's a lot of hiking that you can do in Berkeley. There are hills like on the east side of Berkeley, all sorts of different paths. My favorite thing to do is that we have this big block letter C in the side of the hill in the east. And I always love hiking out there because you can get the great view of the entire campus in the Bay Area. It's very pretty. And now I'll be moving on to more details on athletics.
So, as Aidan mentioned, we have a lot of athletics going on our campus, and we have 3 different levels of competition. So Division 1, that's going to be the big football games that we go to, or the basketball games, and then we have clubs. So maybe you did a sport in high school, but you don't want to maybe do a competitive Division 1 level in college. Perfectly okay. You can do it just with your friends and compete with other colleges at the club level, and then intramural and recreational. So you just want to maybe play some frisbee with your friends, play against other friends, maybe even do some Quidditch. Absolutely. We have intramural and recreational clubs that all students can join. And California Memorial Stadium is where all of those amazing fun football games that Aidan mentioned, they all happen there. And within California Memorial Stadium, we have resources to ensure that even athletes are able to succeed academically. Maybe they have to go out of town for games. That shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't hinder their academic performance. So we have the Simpson High Performance Center, which is athletic center as well, and then the Athletic Study Center to make sure that they are able to achieve not only on the field, but also in the classroom. We have Haas Pavilion, which is where our basketball, both men and women's teams play, as well as gymnastics, and then the Recreational Sports Facility, or the RSF, which is located in the upper right of your screen there. And that's basically our campus gym. Great place to go after class. You want to just sweat it out, exercise. They also have some really fun classes like cardio dance, which I really love, or you can just go with your friends, take a fun class. It's a great place to de-stress as well. And we are very prestigious in our athletics, not only academics. So we have won 207 Olympic medals, which is pretty cool. I was really excited for this upcoming summer's Summer Olympics, but I'm just going to be even more excited for next summer, where I'll be able to watch and see a student who goes to my school. Maybe I've even met them in class performing in front of the world on behalf of the United States, which is pretty amazing.
All right, next we have libraries and research. So Libraries are something that's really neat about the campus. I never thought that libraries would be like a huge thing that I would kind of geek out about, but they are at Berkeley. So we have 24 different libraries and they come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. You'll see some of the larger ones here, like on the top left and in the middle top. The one in the middle and to the top is one of my favorite ones, Doe Library. It's in front of that beautiful grass field. There's really big room in there. Very nice. My personal favorite library is the engineering library. It's more of a smaller library, but it focuses a lot on like collaboration and it's encouraged for you to like talk more. Not necessarily like be loud and obnoxious, but so you can talk with people around you. All like the tables all face each other. And I've had like many times where I've studied for midterms and worked on assignments with friends in there. And through our libraries, we have over 13 million volumes of books, and you can access a lot of them, to my knowledge, most of them online, which is good in case you don't want to go searching all the way through there. Of course you can if you'd rather have a physical book with you, but that's pretty neat. And also through those online resources, there are options where you can access the library databases of the other UC campuses. So you don't only have the 13 million Berkeley volumes, but all the other millions of volumes across other UC schools. So if you want a book, you'll definitely get it somewhere in there. And then next we have research. So research is a really big part of UC Berkeley. We're primarily a research institution. And as such, there are so many different opportunities for undergraduates to get involved with research. One of the biggest things that we have is undergraduate research apprenticeship program, or URAP, which is a program where you can apply for certain different research opportunities. There's a whole website for it that lists everything out. Also, another good strategy is that if you just go to your professor's office hours or directly email a professor or graduate student involved in research that you like, more often than not, they'll at the very least, they'll kind of let you know about their research, and they may invite you to like a research meeting so you can see what it's all like. And then from there, you might be able to get a research position. I've heard a lot of people get research through that path. So the main thing is like showing interest in the research, and they may accept you, which is really neat. I really want to get involved in research one day. I haven't been focusing as much on it, but I'll definitely put myself out there once things get a bit more normalized so I can get that research opportunity. And there's research in all sorts of different departments, not just STEM. To my knowledge, history is the biggest place where you have research, but all the different departments have some sort of research opportunity for you. It's a really great way for you to meet all kinds of people and really apply your major more. And now we'll be moving on to our final campus highlights.
So, as I mentioned, we're located in the Bay Area, and you can actually see the Golden Gate Bridge from our campus, which is really inspiring because the designer of the Golden Gate Bridge actually went to Cal. So you can look up and be like, a Cal graduate did that, I can do something. But we have a beautiful campus with a lot of hiking trails. As Aidan mentioned, the Big C is one of them. We also have the fire trails. We have Strawberry Creek, which runs straight through the middle of our campus. We have hills right behind it. Tilden Regional Park and other East Bay parks are accessible to students through the Alameda County bus system, which is free for all students. It's a really great place to go to nature, which is also a great place to social distance. And there's also a lot of trees and just other natural beauties on our campus. Another great way to de-stress is just go outside and look up. There might be a redwood tree or a squirrel, which I like to think is one of our unofficial campus mascots. So our campus is one of the most beautiful places in the world, in my opinion, and one of the things that I miss most in this digital format. But I know one day we'll be back. I'll be able to see the squirrels again, see the Golden Gate Bridge once again. And now we're going to move on to our Q&A portion.
Hey, thank you so much, Morgan and Aidan. That was amazing. So yes, we are going to head into our Q&A. And this first question is for Aidan. So there were a lot of people on the poll who said they were rising high school seniors. So hopefully we'll see them applying and maybe coming to Berkeley next fall. But the first question is, what was your freshman experience like? And do you have any recommendations for the best places to study or hang out on campus?
Great question. So my freshman experience was really great. Going into Berkeley, I was very scared and very terrified. I did not know what it was going to be like. I kind of had these notions going into it that I would be in huge lecture halls where I wouldn't be able to learn anything. Everything would be really competitive. I had different insecurities about like safety and like living in the dorms, that whole transition and whatnot. And as time went on, things just got a whole lot better. A lot of those preconceived notions were just wrong. For classes, I just got a lot more used to that bigger style a lot better. All the discussion sections and office hours helped me out so much. there's so many times where I've gone to a GSI or professor's office hours like the week before the midterm to like go over everything, and that made me understand everything so much better. All like the safety, as I was talking about, I just found it to be a lot more safe than I thought it was going to be. Especially with all the safety precautions in place, that definitely made me feel a lot better. And it was just really great transitioning over to college because I felt like I had a lot more freedom, and also just being able to join different clubs and meet different people that led to different experiences I didn't have in high school. And so my freshman year was really great. It was an amazing experience. And as for the different places to study and hang out on campus, so kind of behind me in this picture, you can see it's part of Memorial Glade, not the full glade. There's more grass kind of to the side of it. It is a very beautiful place. A lot of days when it's sunny, you'll just see people sitting out there, hanging out. They have like little hammocks, and might be playing some sort of game where they're throwing a ball with each other or something like that. It's definitely my favorite part of campus. And as for libraries, I already talked for a bit about libraries, but Moffett Library is definitely one of the more popular ones. It's open 24 hours, and there's different floors where one floor is like the buzz floor where people talk a bit more and they're a bit more louder. And then the top floor, people are just silent on that floor. So people like to go there so they can get that kind of different levels of studying. And yeah, that's just one thing that's great about the libraries, where there's different styles like that. So one of the libraries has a study habit, the study environment that would be best for you.
Awesome. Yes, totally agree. I love Memorial Glade too. That is also where I think you guys mentioned Quidditch in the tour, and that's where they practice as well. So going onto the Glade and having a picnic and sometimes watching a Quidditch game happen. All right, so next question is for Morgan. So I know you're in a lot of cool extracurriculars and dance programs on campus. So what are some popular extracurriculars at Berkeley, and how can a student get a good balance of academic and social life while in college?
This is a great question. We have a lot of extracurriculars on our campus, so it might seem a little bit daunting. We have over 1,000 student organizations, and it's kind of hard to say which are more popular than others because it's really a personal decision. What are you interested in? What do you love to do? What have you loved to do your entire life? But there are some that are more popular than others, especially the career-oriented ones. So maybe you're pre-med or you're pre-law, or you'd like to do some consulting. Those clubs are generally very popular because it's a great way to network with alumni and people in the Bay Area who are in the career fields and industries that you're really interested in, that you want to have those opportunities after you graduate or even for some summer internships. So I like to think of extracurriculars as a balancing act. So you have one that's something that you really love, that you find just, it doesn't have anything to do with academics, it doesn't have anything to do with your career. You do it because you just love it. And then you have another that is, you know, to help you professionally, help you develop those career skills. And then maybe you have one other that maybe blends the two. So I kind of look at it like that when I came into college. So for my fun one, I am a dancer. I've been dancing my whole entire life. I love ballet. Oh, I love it so much. So I'm in ballet company at Berkeley, which is an absolutely wonderful place. That's where I found most of my friends at Cal. It's where I found my community. It's the first club that I joined, and I joined it because of my interests, because of my passions. But I also was like, maybe I'm interested in law. I'm a history major. History and law are kind of similar. Thought I'd explore it. So I joined a pre-law fraternity. And through that, I've gotten internship opportunities. I've learned how to interview well. I've learned how to build up my resume. And it's been a really great resource and also a great place to make friends as well. So best of both worlds there. And then as a melding of the two, kind of, I have a campus ambassador, which is what I'm doing right now because I love talking. I love Cal. It's one of my passions, but it's also a great place to expand my public speaking skills and have a student job. So a great balancing act to find the extracurriculars that you love.
Definitely, totally agree. And that kind of flows into the next question for Aidan. So Morgan talked about resources for internships or on-campus work. So Aidan, how does Berkeley help to find jobs after you graduate? What are those resources that help students to find that work or internships?
Yeah, so Berkeley has a ton of resources when it comes to this area. So one of the main things that I've done is that as a part of the one group I mentioned at the beginning of the tour, the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, they've connected me a lot with different sorts of info sessions, and we've had all sorts of different corporations, both big and small, come and tell us all about them and give us an idea of that. And there's been tons of people who have been able to send resumes to them and like get all sorts of different connections through that. So I'd say one of the primary things that there's just tons of groups that focus on getting students those different internship opportunities, which is great. And then within certain colleges, so for the College of Chemistry specifically, they have their own sort of like career center area where somebody basically connects you with specifically with like chemistry and chemical engineering, different fields. To my knowledge, the College of Engineering has something similar, and I believe other colleges may have other sorts of things like that. But the kind of overarching one we have is the Career Center. So the Career Center, it's located very close to campus, and they'll do similar things where they can connect you with all sorts of different research, internship opportunities, job opportunities. And they actually have a space where they'll allow people to come and do interviews for those jobs and internships there. So it's very convenient to have that on campus. Due to everything that's going on right now, though, they've actually been able to move a lot of things online. I haven't checked out those resources, but from what I've heard, people have still been able to look into different internship and job opportunities through that online website. I believe it's career.berkeley.edu. I might be a little wrong on that, but if not, you can just look up Career Center Berkeley and you can get an idea of all the different resources Berkeley has for you in getting jobs and internships.
Awesome. Thanks, Aidan. Okay, second to last question before we dive into our last question is, what is there to do off campus, like in the city of Berkeley? So Morgan?
I love this question because I love Berkeley, not just campus, but also the city. And it's a great location. As we mentioned before, it's literally right next to San Francisco, but the city of Berkeley is also a really cool place. We have free public transportation as Berkeley students, so you can go all over the East Bay. But Berkeley itself has a lot of fun things to do, like restaurants. Restaurants are great, and we have a lot of really delicious and amazing ones because we don't have very many chain restaurants in the city of Berkeley, so it's a great way to try some new things. One of my favorite events, which I don't know when it'll ever happen again in the future, but we have this place called Cornerstone that hosts a lot of live music and events, and we had an ABBA dance night every semester. So my friends and I, we dress up, we get glittered out, we go, we dance the night away to ABBA music, and it's so much fun. So we have things like that all around campus. We have the Greek Theater where those concerts are that Aidan mentioned, but also because we're right next to San Francisco, you can just hop on a BART train, go into San Francisco. You can see San Francisco Ballet, which I love to do. You can see a Broadway show on tour. You can go to museums. You can just go out to dinner. You can go and see all of the holiday decorations and go ice skating in Union Square. There's a lot of fun things to do around Berkeley, around campus, and it's just an amazing area to go to college, which makes it a really unique college experience.
Awesome. Thanks, Morgan. All right, so I do want to give you guys time for our last question, which is actually one of the questions that also popped up in the Q&A, is why did both of you choose UC Berkeley? So why Berkeley? So we're going to go ahead, have both of you guys tell your Berkeley story. So why don't we have Aidan go first, and then Morgan, you can go after.
All right, why did I choose UC Berkeley? This is a fun story for me. So when I was first applying to colleges, I did not expect at all to get into UC Berkeley. I applied to mostly California schools, and because I'm from SoCal, I was expecting maybe to go to some of the other universities in Southern California. And then big surprise, I got into Berkeley, not expecting that at all. And because I wasn't expecting to get in, I did not research very much about the university. Basically knew nothing about Berkeley. And so I remember the night when I found out that I got in, I just started looking up all sorts of stuff, looking up about chemistry, chemical engineering, campus life, and all that stuff. I found all this cool stuff like, wow, Berkeley discovered 16 elements. They have like their own college for chemistry and all this stuff that I probably should have known when I first applied, but you know, it's fine. I found out eventually. So then I eventually decided that to go visit UC Berkeley during Cal Day, which unfortunately couldn't happen this year. It'll definitely come back someday. Don't know when, but that will be a great day. We can have Cal Day again. And so I flew up and I visited the campus during Cal Day. And the biggest thing that spoke to me was the community of Berkeley. So just everybody I met there was definitely just really outgoing and really like compassionate. And one of the biggest things that just really spoke out to me is that it really felt like a community where I felt like I could find people that I belonged with. That was a huge problem for me in high school, where I felt like I didn't fit in with a lot of the people that I met. But Berkeley from the start showed that. I saw just a lot of the spirit people had. They had a noon rally that was put together by the rally committee and the band and the cheer team and everything. When I saw that, I just saw there's university just filled with very spirited people, that it's something that still I say is true now, where people are just so spirited and proud they go here. And pretty much ever since I came here, I've just seen it just getting better and better, and just makes me more happy that I decided to come to Berkeley, because it just reinforces all those things of community that I wanted and all the different really interesting chemistry opportunities that I talked about earlier, where it just makes me so happy I go to university like this. It feels really perfect for me, and I'm really happy I go to Berkeley now.
Awesome. Thanks, Aidan and Morgan.
So kind of similar to Aidan, I didn't think I was going to go to Berkeley at all. I am from the Central Valley, as I mentioned, and my dream was I'm going to go far away to college. But by far away, I meant Southern California because I don't do snow. So I was like, LA, so far. But I didn't really consider Berkeley just because it felt too close. I hadn't known very many people who had gone there, so I didn't know that much about the university. But surprise, surprise, I got in and I was like, oh, what is this school? So I went on a campus tour and it was absolutely amazing. The campus is gorgeous and I really thrive when I'm studying outside, when I'm hanging outside with my friends, hiking, camping, things like that. And it was just a beautiful atmosphere. And the tour guide that I had was so passionate about everything that he talked about. And it really inspired me because I'm a really enthusiastic, kind of passionate person. And if I just saw one person like that, I knew that I would be able to fit in. They had so many resources. The library, I stepped inside and I was like, it was basically Beauty and the Beast when Belle sees the library. I was like, I've never seen this many books, and I'm a huge book nerd. I was in awe. I just felt so inspired, but also nervous. I had a lot of imposter syndrome, but I was excited nonetheless. I was like, I get to go to a school that has a big name, has fun mascots. I get to go to football games. I love football, even though I never know what's going on the field. And it was just, I felt at home for the first time any college campus that I had ever visited. And I loved that I would be able to hop on a BART train and go home for the weekend, or I could hop on a BART train and I'd be able to go into San Francisco and to meet people from all over the world that I had met on that one day when I took a campus tour. Just the diversity in the admitted students tour itself was amazing to me. And I wanted to experience something like that for my college experience. And it's honestly the best decision that I have ever made.
Awesome. Thank you so much to both Morgan and Aidan. We are going to go ahead, and unfortunately this is the end of our virtual visit for today. You can go ahead and follow us on social media at Visit UC Berkeley on both Instagram and Twitter. Also, if we did not answer your question today, go ahead and email tour@berkeley.edu with any questions you have, and a student campus ambassador will be there to answer your question for you. And we also have a blog. So our blog with so many different perspectives, just like Morgan and Aidan gave today. You can go ahead and visit beartalk.berkeley.edu to read some of our other ambassadors' experiences. And like I said before, a different recorded virtual visit is available on our website, visit.berkeley.edu. If you missed any part of this one, go ahead and refer to that one. And like Aidan talked about, the 150 Years of Woman at Berkeley, you can go ahead and check out all of those events that also became virtual at 150w.berkeley.edu. And like I said before, I invite you to read our Chancellor's message about standing together on news.berkeley.edu. But with that, I want to thank you guys so much for coming today and participating. Thank you again to Morgan and Aidan for that wonderful presentation. Thank you guys. Hope you guys had a great time and have an amazing rest of your day. We are going to end with a Go Bears on 3. So 1, 2, 3. Go Bears!
Go Bears!